I'm Mary Gyulay. I am the director and co-writer of Viable, and I'm a Ryerson student, so this is my big Ryerson final project. So basically, Viable is kind of based on experiences that I've had. I was diagnosed with MS. So when I was first diagnosed, it's definitely a very lonely feeling. I think chronic illnesses of all kinds or diseases just in general, when you're first given that news, it's really a lonely feeling. I didn't know, like many other people don't know, that MS affects young people. So I didn't think that there were people my age going through the same thing. I felt very kind of isolated and like, because no one can see what I'm going through on the outside, it was hard for me to explain what was going on inside my body, because all the pain and discomfort that comes with MS, even like going blind in one eye, people can't see that. They look at you and it looks normal. And it was really cool just going, when I finally got the courage to do so, going on and researching MS and seeing all the support in the MS community. That's what really helped me. And I think that would be my advice for anyone who's going through a similar thing, is to, once you're comfortable with the situation and you come to terms with it, to maybe dip your feet in the pool of support a little bit and research a bit about what you're going through actually is. For me, I actually went on Instagram and I searched hashtags and I found a bunch of people who were young and looked like me and, you know, who were going through the same thing as me, and that made me feel not as alone and like, oh, people get what I'm going through, and it kind of makes you feel like you can do more about it, because you don't feel like you're alone in this huge grand scheme of things. So I've heard a lot of stories about artists, particularly in the MS community, who have had terrible experiences with people, even doctors and professionals, telling them that they have to stop doing their art and stop doing what they love, and that completely breaks my heart. If someone told me that, I would be crushed. And that's kind of what sparked the motivation behind Viable. So Melissa, our executive producer, and we got together and she said she'd love to do a story about MS, and that's kind of how we built the idea of Viable. We really wanted to showcase someone, especially a younger person who is going through MS, because a lot of people, they've heard about MS but they don't know too much about it. So they automatically assume that it's an elderly disease, and it actually, in reality, very commonly affects young people. It's very commonly diagnosed at 15 years old. So I think showing Violet, who's our main character, struggling with MS is going to open people's eyes to what MS actually is and what it can do to people. And Viable is hopefully going to give the audience a chance to step into the shoes of someone who has MS. I don't know of many films that have revolved around the disease, and since it's an invisible disease, people don't really, you can't see symptoms. And Viable will help viewers to literally step into the shoes of Violet, to see what she's seeing and to feel what she's seeing and feel what she's experiencing with being told that she can't live her dream anymore. And on top of that, all of the discomfort and physical barriers that come with MS. So if anyone's feeling kind of like overwhelmed with what they're going through, I definitely would recommend just looking into support wherever you can get it. So a big thing for me was participating in the MS Walk, which was a big community thing. You get to meet other people who have MS, other people who know a lot about MS, so talking with them and getting kind of advice about how they manage things. It's really cool, and it gives you a sense of community that you wouldn't get otherwise. Also, personally, being in Toronto, the MS clinic at St. Mike's has been incredible, and they've been very helpful for any kind of help that I've needed. So they're a great resource to go to. The MS Society of Canada is very responsive, especially online. Like, if you reach out to them online, they're very good at getting back to you and helping you out. And then lastly, anyone who's in school, because this does affect younger people too. I was very stubborn at first, and I thought that I could just manage everything like a normal person and like I used to, but accepting the fact that you need help every now and then is not the worst thing. So going to my school was great about it, and going to my administrative office and asking for a little bit of help with, you know, if I was flaring up with MS symptoms for maybe an extension here or there, like they were very understanding about that. And I think that that's great advice. If you're in school, you need to take help where you can get it. So if you wanted more information on where to find all things Viable, we do have a website, so it's www.viablefilm.com. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as @ViableFilm. That's where you can find all the updates on behind the scenes, because we're going to be shooting soon, so that's really cool. Behind the scenes stuff. We're doing celebrity awareness videos with people who have MS, or people who are in the spotlight who know people who have MS and have MS experiences. And so we'll be posting those on our website, which is really cool. You can participate in our campaign, which is #IamViable. And that's going to be a really cool campaign too. So if you wanted to stay in the know, I would recommend checking that hashtag out. So we are planning on having a premiere and screening along with fundraiser. That will be in the new year. We'll have more information on it as we get closer to that time and once the film's actually made. But we're planning on doing an industry night, so absolutely reach out to us if you're interested in attending.
Oh, that's so cool. There you go.